Hello and Assalamualaikum. So we meet again in the last part in the topic number 1, nature, purpose and scope of auditing, which is part number 4 and last part. Okay, in this video, we want you to explain about the structure and professional firm, understand about the principle and stewardship, accountability and agency, and last one, state about the chronological of audit. So there are 3 learning objectives for this video. Okay, so the first thing we go to the chartered accountant. What is the chartered accountant actually mean? So if you want to become a chartered accountant, there are requirements for you regulated under MIA through Accountant Act 1967. So the requirement is to obtain the license, you must at least have 3 years experience in audit firm and must have 70% work experience as a auditor. So we have 3 type of MIA membership, which is licensed accountant. They are under approval section 263 of Company Act. Chartered accountant, which is practicing license, and some they are practicing license and as auditor. So this license are not issued by the MIA, but they are issued by the Ministry of Finance. And last type of membership MIA is associate member. So most of associate member is among the academician like me, like a lecturer, right? So we not go into the industry, we not practice, so we practice in the academician sector. So for those who become a MIA member, they have to maintain and the right to practice independent auditor. So they have to continue education and licensing requirements. So once you become a CA member, so you have to maintain your credit or your merit to every year. So there are requirements from the MIA. But sometimes they are CA also, but they're not practicing in the independent auditor or not practice in the accounting industry. So there's still a CA, but they still have to continue their education and licensing requirement. Okay, next, the organization of CA firm. So what is the position if you go to the audit firm? So what is the position we have in the audit firm? So staff position, duty in public accounting firm depend on the size of the company. In small firms, sometimes the employee may perform audit function different levels. And dia lah partner, dia lah audit senior, dia lah junior employee. So itu for the small firm. But in the large firm like the Big Four, Deloitte, KPMG, so normally we have the range of the auditor, which is partner, manager, audit senior and junior employee. So partner, normally they are concerned about the public relation and making a new client contacts. So dia nak cari klien baru, may review about the financial report, audit working paper and signing the audit report. So you just signing and review what is work done by the manager, audit senior and junior employee. So manager, they are less experienced than a partner but may have developed a specialization. Normally they meet the client official for audit planning. They can discuss how to make the audit work with the client. And the audit senior normally qualify as professional accountant through examination and the requisite practical experience. They have to day-to-day contact with the client to routine. Dialah yang buat kerja, dialah yang akan cari confirmation. They will go to the side of the client business to make the audit process. And last one, junior employee classified as audit assistant. They normally follow the instruction from the superior who has the responsibility to review their work. Normally, junior audit senior is a supervisor to the audit junior. Okay, that is the term that used in the CA firm, chartered accountant, partner, the highest one with the signing audit report, manager, audit senior and junior employee. Okay, next, what is the service offered by the chartered accounting firm? So we have offer the assurance services. What is the assurance services? Assurance services is independent service, professional service that want to improve the quality of information for decision maker. So they can be performed by the auditor in variety of other professional. So sometimes instead of assurance service, they have attestation service. So attestation service is a type of assurance service. Dia adalah jenis-jenis assurance service. Maksudnya service that give information, that give assurance that information is reliable. The service that give the assurance to the user once the user want to make a decision. So about the reliability of the assertion, that is the responsibility for the another party. There are 4 category of attestation service. That is audit historical financial statement. Inilah yang buat external audit all the financial statement. Sometimes you can make the audit internal control over the financial report. review historical financial statement, other essential service that broad range based on the requirement of the client. Okay. Okay, this one is the summarization of assurance service and non-assurance service. So most of the CA firm, they are offer the assurance service or the attestation services. So there are audit service, review about the financial statement, internal control, and other assurance service. This one is non-assurance service. So attestation service, that is service give the information that give assurance about the information is reliable, and they have to report about the finding from the assurance services. Non-assurance services, there are other management consulting like the secretary, accounting and bookkeeping, and next is tax services. That is non-assurance service by the CE firm. Okay, next, what is the advantages if with the company or the client make the audit process? Maybe they can disputed between partner could be avoided. Tak ada pertegaduhan lah antara partner dengan shareholder. The both party are willing to cooperate together. Independent verification of asset. Kita akan lihat the verification asset is good in this situation. Audit financial statement when submitted for the tax purpose. Application for bank, if you want to make a loan, they are very easier because you have supported document, audited financial statement. Then sometimes you may receive the recommendation from auditor to improve your internal control process in the business, and sometimes auditor could assist on the area of the business like financial advice, listing exercise, restructuring, corporate, and so on. So that is advantages if the business take the audit services. Okay, next is about the limitation of audit statutory. So what is the lacking, what is the weaknesses, limitation yang audit tak boleh nak achieve? So audit is only test on the basis and may not be in deep about discover any irregularities. And sometimes audit is carried out only once or twice a year. Bukannya selalu, depend on the size and complexity of the company. And this audit process are involve the professional judgment or professional skepticism from the auditor. And sometimes different auditor will have a different judgment. And this sometimes audit involve the concept of materiality. They just see which part that have a high materiality level, and they will discover that part to find out any material misstatement. Okay, and this statutory audit, the scope of the audit should be accordance with the regulation, legislation, and also the rules and standard. Okay, so we go to the principle of stewardship, accountability, and agency. So stewardship agency theory, what is it? That is the name given for the person or in practice which productive resources owned by the one group are managed by another person or group of person. So normally we have a business, so we have a money, and sometimes our business are owned by their shareholders, and this shareholder will appoint someone to be a director to manage a shareholder property in the business. So we call it as director accountable to the shareholders, and sometimes we call director as an agent to the shareholders. Okay, next is stewardship accounting. So stewardship accounting, the owner, they appoint manager to look about the owner property in the business, and sometimes director act as a steward to the shareholder wealth or shareholder investment. And this reporting and accounting is usually done by means of financial statement that we call as a stewardship accounting. Okay, next, accountability. What is accountability mean? Accountability is someone that willing to accept a responsibility. That is mean of accountability. They are qualities stated by the accountable being required or expected to justify action and decision. That's accountability. Stewardship is duty or obligation person who manage another person property. That is meaning of stewardship. And agent is the people or employee used to provide particular service like a manager. In the case of the company, sometimes people being used to provide service to manage a business also have to second role to try to maximize their personal wealth. Okay, This one is the summary of the overview principal-agent relationship ataupun stewardship agency theory. So in this theory, we have a principal as the absentee owner or shareholders in the business. We have an agent and also we have an auditor. So normally the principal, which is the owner of the business, they provide a capital and they hire an agent to manage their business. That is a manager. So from that agent, they will hire the auditor to report on the fairness about the agent financial report. So agent will pay to the auditor and the auditor will do their task by gather all the evidence to evaluate about the fairness agent financial reports, and the auditor will issue the audit opinion to the company and agent financial report, and adding credibility to the report and reduce principal information risk. So this auditor will report or will give the assurance to the principal about how performance of manager, either manager good or not good in performing their duties in the principal business. So that is agent is accountable to principal provide the financial report sebagai assurance. Auditor give the assurance to the principal. Okay, next, this one is chronological of audit. We have start with the engagement activity, both party, auditor and the business. Next, auditor have to understand about the entity industry, about the entity business and so on. Set a materiality, understand the materiality. So that is the plan, and next plan overall audit strategy. What is audit strategy? How the timing of the audit, develop about the plan to make the audit process. So that is the stages of planning audit. After the planning audit done, so the auditor will go to the next stage, which is performing the audit process. They start to make a test of control about the audit business process and do some substantive procedure and audit procedure. And once all the process audit done, they start to they complete the audit and they evaluate about the result finding during the audit work and issue the audit report. Okay, next is the type of audit report. As I said previously, we just have two type, which is unmodified and also the modified report. So this part will be explained further in our topic in the last topic number 8. Okay, modified and unmodified report. Okay, that's all for video on the chapter number 1. So happy reading to all of you and get ready for the assessment during the online class. Okay, thank you everybody.